Welcome to Secrets of a Bridal Seamstress podcast, where we hear stories from fellow seamstresses just like you. We're able to share their success stories. We learned from wedding industry pros for the best business tips, and we get to hear from fellow sewists and crafters to hopefully inspire our creativity and our love for sewing. I'm so glad that you're here. And if you're a bridal seamstress, I'd also like to invite you to check out our Bridal Seamstress business membership. We have a community of women that can testify to the power of genuine connection, friendship, vulnerability, the power of our six-figure seamstress method, and a genuine connection found in a business mentorship like this. All right, let's dive into the episode. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Secrets of Bridal Seamstress. I'm here with Danielle Park, and she's the owner of Yours with Every Stitch. And I'm super excited about this episode because if you feel like sewing is for old people, you're in the right place, because Danielle is like the youngest person I know to have such a thriving business, and she's doing it the right way. And I'm super excited to highlight her story. So Danielle, thank you for being here. And I love your background. I love the chair that you're on. What is that little wing bag? So
Yeah,
cute.
it's like an estate sale find, actually.
Oh, okay. Love
Yeah,
it,
little vintage thing. Yeah.
love it. So before we hit record, we were talking about just it's a busy season for you. And
Mhm.
I mean, it's like March and you're already full for the year. So congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
so things
you.
are going great. I think the audience is going to be shocked to hear like literally when you started your business and how old you were. So how about you start there?
Okay, awesome. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited.
Me too.
So I started my business kind of while I was still in high school. So I am 22, just turned 22. So I started my business like second semester of senior year. So I graduated in 2021, and it was a very weird year, as we all
Yeah.
know, with COVID.
Yeah.
So my senior planning after school plans was really weird because I was like, do I even want to go to college?
Yeah.
Because I don't even know
It's
what
not
that's
going
going
to
to
be the
look
same like
like.
fun like dorm experience that you were anticipating. And it's like, okay, yeah.
Right, right. Like I didn't even know. Like I wanted to go to like Kent State because they had this cool like fashion travel thing, and I was like, I don't even know if I'll be able to travel.
Yeah.
So I kind of realized I was gonna go to college for the experience, and the experience I didn't even know what it would look like.
Right.
So I ended up just wanting to start my own business. So I had a
Do you
little
have anybody in
market.
your family who owns a business?
Yeah, my parents do.
Oh, okay. What do they do?
Yeah. So they have a classic car business. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, still kind of like an artsy thing. So I've grown up going to car shows, and they ship like worldwide like parts. My dad is like a celebrity in his world. So,
That
so
is
it
so funny. Okay,
starting,
that makes sense
yeah,
where you had that confidence that like this could work, this can pay the bills, and then you
yeah.
had, somebody with wisdom in your back pocket to tell you like how to take the next step. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of support. And I know a lot of people
Yeah.
don't have that. Like a lot of their parents might be like, "Oh, you need to go to college." But my dad didn't go to college. So he was like, "Of course. Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
go."
Yeah.
So, second semester, around the time second semester started, there was a market that opened up right across the street from my high school called Jam's Monthly Markets. And the owner, her name is Jamie. She's absolutely wonderful. I started setting up there, just selling like little handmade stuff because I didn't even know
Yeah.
what I was doing. I just wanted to sew. And I
Yeah.
I could do alterations, I guess. So I had a little sign that said I did alterations, and like literally it was like these are all the services I do. And it was like everything I could possibly get to relate to sewing. I was like, I can
Right.
do any of these things. I just wanted business. And alterations blew up. Obviously, it started with like pants hems and like little things. But I was getting messages like every day at school. Like it was crazy. I was like, I had my first bride before I graduated. So
Oh
she got
my
married.
gosh.
This is a funny story. She got married on the day I graduated, and she was 5 months pregnant.
Oh, I remember you telling
So,
me this, that this was like your
yeah,
first challenge. Like, let's just dive right in.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So I kind of knew her, so it was like less high stakes. Like I knew her, her like younger brother was in my class, like whatever. But I remember like being late to school like one day because I was like I could run back and forth. I didn't have
Yeah.
like a full schedule, but I remember being late to school because I was like doing a fitting with her.
Oh my gosh, that is so
So,
funny. And
yeah.
I'm
So
thinking back
it
to
was
like when
fun.
I was that age, and I just cannot wrap my head around being mature enough to even consider or like having the courage to like start a business or to like work or like sew for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like that is just like
Hmm.
incredible. Like what kind of guts did that take for you to be like, yeah, I'll take your stuff and like alter it for you?
Right. And like I look back and I'm like, I don't know how I did that. Like how I was just like, oh, I'll just start. And then like when I signed my lease, it was like a month after high school. And I was just like, oh yeah, I'll pay, like I can pay this. Like, and I
How did
remember
you
this
sign? Were
conversation.
you able to sign your lease or did your parents have to sign for you?
They came with me, but they didn't have to
Yeah.
co-sign. So
Oh my gosh.
I think I like just turned 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Wow.
I got my first like credit card system for the market like before I was 18 and they gave me so much crap. Like I couldn't just
Yeah.
get it online like normal. It was crazy. So,
Wow. So also, like, I know we talked about how you were like, okay, well, I have this business and I can't like run it out of my parents' house, so I need to get like
mhm,
a professional space.
yes.
So how did you go about, because I know that there are some women who have been like in business for years and they're still really struggling with like, okay, should I or shouldn't I move out of the house? Like, let's talk through that because you were kind of forced to move out. It's not like you had
Hmm.
the luxury of having your business take over the house or whatever. So what was that like? And
Yeah.
then how did you find like the space?
Yeah, so that goes back to Jamie, the owner of the market.
Hmm.
So I kind of was discussing with her. She was so incredibly supportive of what I was doing. And I told her, like, this is great, but like alterations are really taking off and I'm doing fittings out of my parents' house. And like
Yeah.
I need a space, so keep an eye out for me.
Yeah.
And keep in mind I'm in a very small town. So I think that just helped it be even more possible for me to find something. And it was kind of right around the time where downtown was really growing. Like our downtown was like nothing when I was growing up, but now it's like a really nice
Hmm.
space. So she was out, Jamie was out actually drinking with my landlord. Small town. And she
Small
sent
town
me,
connections.
right. And she sent me a message and was like, there is a space open in this little, it's called the Laird Arcade Building. And it's just like a little like mini mall type thing, like an
Hmm.
antique kind
Oh,
of
cute.
historical
Yeah.
building. Really cute. And she's like, it'd be perfect for you. Like, let's go out to lunch and then I'll look at it with you. Because
Oh,
she was
that
like,
is
I want to do
so
this. Like,
nice.
yeah. She's like, you know, we should just look together. Let's do it. So I looked. Rent was an absolute steal because it's downtown and this
Hmm.
building is kind of known as like a business incubator. A lot
Okay.
of businesses start here because the rent's cheap. A lot of the time, like utilities are included. So it's just
That's
affordable,
awesome.
but the spaces are small and they're not like
Hmm.
storefront spaces.
Right.
So, you know, they start here and then they move out.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and a lot of our big shops have started this building. So I found that and landlord was amazing, super supportive, and yeah, went ahead, signed the lease because I was like, this is a no-brainer. And rent was super affordable. So I was like, let's just go for
Wow.
it. So
So then what's your
yeah,
storage setup? Because I know that's what we always think about. Okay, where are we going to put all the dresses? So did you think through that of
right.
like, okay, this is a small space. So how do you kind of divide up your work and your fitting spaces, or do you like flip-flop the days of when you
Hmm.
see clients or not?
Yeah, so very different setup now. So I started in this, I'm up in my workroom is my background right now. I started out having my sewing space in half and fittings in half.
Hmm.
And I started out, I did not just go straight into bridal. I did bridal and I had a decent amount of brides, but it was mainly everyday stuff. I was doing
Yeah.
pants, hems, I was mending, I was doing like disgusting Carhartt coats. Like I,
Oh,
you
yes.
know,
Okay.
work
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Because I was young and I was like, just come bring your
Oh,
stuff.
totally.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I accepted walk-ins. Like it was,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know how I stayed sane because I got bombarded immediately and was
Yeah.
overwhelmed immediately. And I couldn't get away from it because I had a storefront and I was working in my storefront. It was such a small space. You look in the window, you can see if I'm in there. So it's like
Yeah.
I couldn't be like appointment only because people were
Hi.
crazy. They were like, "Hey, can I come in? Like I've got
Yes.
pants."
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was fine for like the first year. And then I moved my workroom like twice in 1 year. So
Okay.
I moved it across the hall into a really small space just because it was open. And then I
Hmm.
outgrew that and was like, I need to do something. And I did look around like for other spaces. And I think my landlord got wind of that and was like, please stay. I'll make you a deal.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all those little small town connections that really helped me out. So now I
Yeah.
have quite a big space upstairs for my workroom. It's like 4 rooms. So I've got like, I just got a cleaning room done so I can do in-house cleaning too. So it's like awesome.
Wow. That's
So now
amazing.
I've got plenty of storage now. I can like really spread out. They have an elevator. So I just put like my dress rack in the elevator and like go up and down. It's kind of a pain sometimes, but like it works.
That's
Um,
amazing. Wow.
so I just started this year doing like your schedule where it's like week on, week off for
Oh, yeah.
fittings.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's like an adjustment, but I love it. It's amazing. And it's
Yeah,
very
it does
helpful.
take like a couple months to like kick in and like to have it make
Yeah.
sense. But,
Hmm.
I feel like it's worth it once you get going, but it's hard to
Yeah.
like commit to the off days.
Yeah.
But I
So far,
think
I already
too,
feel like I'm ahead. So,
yeah,
like of
that's
work
great. And like
normally.
with
Yeah.
your setup of where like your workspace is like literally in a different space. So it's not like you can have fittings like in between clients, like get much work done. You know what I'm saying? If you're
Hmm.
like packing stuff up or down. So that's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe
That's
you have
kind
like
of the
four
journey.
spaces upstairs.
It's amazing. And rent
And
is
that's
still
the
a
perfect
steal.
deal because then like your bottom space, you don't need like that much room for a fitting, you know what I mean? But it's really like the
Exactly.
storing the dresses and like being able to spread out and have all your work, not just like you have to like shove it in a corner when a client comes. So that is
Yeah.
incredible. So congratulations on the space. Okay, so then kind of going backwards, who taught you to sew? Like where did this start? If by high
Um,
school you're ready to sell stuff, I mean, wow.
yeah. So I started when I was probably like 7 or 8 and really like dove in with our local 4-H programs. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Yes. That's like my favorite
Um,
part of our local fair is like checking out all the 4-H
yes.
stuff. It's so
Yes.
impressive. Oh,
And like that's like our only thing anymore, I feel like in the whole country of like where you can just like the most accessible to go learn how
for
to
kids. Yeah,
sew.
totally.
Yeah. And I know it's really like dying out right now. I'm a clothing judge now. It's awesome because I wanted to
Oh
stay
my
involved.
goodness. That is
Yeah.
amazing. You're perfect
So
for that.
fun.
Yeah. And
Thank
then
you.
these kids are like, oh my gosh, she's so cool and she's doing the thing. I can do that
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun because I'm like just trying to encourage them to keep sewing.
Yeah.
Like I don't even give criticism half the time. I'm just like, keep doing what you're doing, keep sewing. Like I'm like, just put me with the little kids. Yeah. But it's definitely like dying out, so which is really sad. But yeah, we just need more sewers. So that's where I kind of started. And a lot of it was like connections through 4-H teaching
hmm
me and like a lot of like self-taught too.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
YouTube, Brenda, Bridal
Yes.
Sewing, super helpful. Like a lot of just like online searching and trial and
hmm
error, honestly. I mean,
Oh,
obviously not on
absolutely.
customer stuff, but
Sometimes
um
it's like, oh shoot, wait, I gotta fix this. Yes, I remember those days where it's like, I thought I could do this. I can't do it. I can't do it. Lots of self-talk. Woo.
yeah, yeah. So a lot of just like
And
playing
I
around.
think
So
too, probably like your parents taught you like the importance of community because you probably saw them rely on their friendships in the business community, those connections, and the importance of that. Like you probably picked
mhm.
up from a young age, you know what I mean? Like, okay, and then you're experiencing it like right away in your business of like so and so she's helping you with the space or with the markets or whatever. So what a cool story. So then how long was it before you're like, oh, I'm actually making money, this is cool, like from when
Yeah.
you moved into your space to when it started working and like you were supporting yourself with it?
Yeah, so this is fun because I talked to my dad like when I was getting started, like right before
hmm
I signed my lease, like, oh, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, how am I supposed to pay rent? Like, how am I gonna make this? And again, it was like a low rent price. Like he was like, you're gonna
yeah,
be okay. But I'm like, this is scary. Like, how am I
it
supposed to make
is.
money? And I remember, told me, he's like, try to make that, like, make this your goal. Like, all I need is a goal and I'll just go
Yes.
for it, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't even know where to start. And he was like, try to make that in a week. And I was like, you're crazy. How do I make that in a week? And I remember, I think I made that in a week, in maybe a week or two of being open.
Oh my
So I was
goodness.
like, this is awesome. And I was very diligent in like tracking my weekly income at first. And then I would track it monthly. Like I was like really tracking everything because I was like, I want to make sure I'm able to pay everything. And I realized very quickly, I was like, oh, I didn't have to worry like at all. I
hmm
started at least making it in a week and then some. So
wow, that's
pretty
incredible.
quickly, yeah, it was awesome. So definitely lucky to have, again, like a low rent and then also a super supportive community. Like they put me
Yeah.
in the newspaper, which like just took off. Like even just that one newspaper thing was giving me business for like a year or two. Like people were like, "Oh, I saw you
Wow.
in the newspaper."
Okay, thanks.
So I was like,
Well,
I
well,
didn't think
everybody wants
anybody
to like
got,
encourage you. They're probably so excited for you. So they want to like rally
yeah,
around, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
when did you get more into bridal?
So it would have been like probably about a year into business. I was like, this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to just switch everything over, but there's like no seamstresses around. Like,
Yeah.
we're a very small town, and literally when I opened, there were like three seamstresses in like an hour radius of me that all retired at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So, so that was also really helpful in opening because they were like giving me stuff to like set up, like whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
that was awesome. But I was like, I don't know where to send these people, and they're like
Yeah.
loyal clients. Like I really loved my clientele. And I was like, I can't just say like, too bad, I'm only doing brides now, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's a
Yeah.
really scary thing too.
Mm-hmm.
So there was probably like that middle year of like just doing everything and being super overwhelmed and like kind
Yeah.
of not loving it. But I was like, I
Yes.
need to do something. So then I made a connection with a seamstress who had recently moved to town. And she was like, I don't know if I want to like open a business, but like I saw you in the newspaper and was like, she's really cool. Like, let's talk. So
Mm-hmm.
we got together, talked for like 3 hours, whatever, and really hit it off. And I was like, if you open a business, I'm going to send you all of my general clientele. Like, I just need to go to bridal formal. Like, that's what I need
Mm-hmm.
to do right now. And obviously, if you want to take brides too, like whatever, there's plenty to go around. And like I'll
Yeah.
send you people. So we
Always.
kind of
Yeah.
made this deal. She opened in the same building as me, and she since has moved because she did so good. Now she's doing like dress consignment and stuff.
Oh,
Um,
cool. Oh, that's
yeah, it's so
perfect.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like amazing. So she's just like an amazing resource. So I started sending her all of my general stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
at that point, I was like, I feel confident enough that I can just do bridal. And
What
I'm
year was
so
this?
glad I did.
Was this just last
Oh
year?
gosh. No, last year was my full first year of being only bridal
Oh,
formal.
okay. Because remember you
I
talking
think the
about that in
I think the
Austin.
year
I think that
before that
was
was my transition year
okay. Yeah.
because I had like a weird transition year that was just like
A
sometimes I would
lot.
take people and sometimes I wouldn't. Like it would,
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know what that's like. Yeah, where it's like one day at a time. So, do you have like main feeder stores? Or because when I think about people who are like in a small town, I'm like, okay, where are people coming from? Are these brides who
Mhm.
like live in your small town, or do they just kind of live? Where are they coming from, and where are they buying their dresses? Like, what's the big city where they're getting their dresses?
Yeah, so we kind of have like a mix of clientele here. So I feel like our bridal situation in this town is weird because we have a lot of, it's like a mix, I don't know. But a lot of brides are getting their dresses from like an hour away. I think most of them are like an hour to 45 minutes away. I have like three feeder stores right now. The closest one is probably 30 minutes away in like another really small town, but she's just like, it's a small, little tiny
Yeah.
dress shop and she just opened up like last year. But then the other two are like in bigger cities and people, even the one is still in a small town, but people drive from like everywhere to go there. So it's
Oh,
like the
okay.
place to be. So when I
Mm-hmm.
got on their feeder store list, I was like,
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yes, yeah. And
yeah.
really like that's like all you need. I'm on I think 3 or 4 lists. I actually dropped a couple stores. I didn't like say I don't want to be on your list, but I just stopped accepting brides from those stores because really
Mhm.
all you need is just a few. Yeah, it just
I've
and like when
noticed
you
that.
said there's
Mhm.
enough to go around, there's totally enough to go around. Like, we have the job security. And so I just admire that you have just like this kind of calm presence about you with the business. And I know like even like when we met in Austin last year, because Danielle came to our SBS retreat, were you a member then or did you come as a non-member? Just to
I
be
was
like, I
not a
think,
member
yeah,
then.
I think you're like, let's do
People were like, "Are
this. And
you a
I'm
member?"
like, she was like, YOLO, like just
Yeah.
coming down, like, I don't know. And we were all blown away by like your age. And I think too, just your poise, you know what I mean? Because like, again, I think back to like how I behaved at that age. Yeah, I just don't think I would have ever had it in me to have a successful business like that. And even just the way you're talking about like your growth and like the goals, and it's just very like, just really impressed by how like chill you are. I don't know. So what's next? Do you have like a 3-year plan? Do you have like a 1-year plan? Like what do you maybe what your goals would be for your local community? Like what do you want to
Mhm.
do? Because now like that you've seen that you can do all these things, it's
Mhm.
like okay, it probably builds your confidence of what you can do next, you know? So what would the next thing
Right.
be?
Yeah. So I feel like I'm kind of in my hustle season because I'm
Yep.
young, still living with my parents. So I'm like, I can just go. Yeah. People ask me all the time, like, what's your plan? And I'm like, that's scary. I don't know. A lot of this like wasn't even planned. It just kind of happened. So I'm like,
Right.
YOLO,
You're
like
flexible.
whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just got like cleaning and preservation. Like I'm gonna start doing that in house is the plan. I know that like demand is crazy. So I'm like time wise, I don't know what we're gonna do here. But I
Mm-hmm.
know around here, like the in-house is like the way everyone wants to go. They don't want to ship out.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a huge deal. So I'm like, that's why I was like, oh, I better do like in-house. And I enjoy doing it, but I honestly, if I was to hire, that would be where I would hire.
Yeah. It's time
So
consuming.
that's a possibility in the
Yeah.
future. But right now, I'm just taking it slow. And yeah, so I can talk a little bit about the community thing if you
Yeah,
want.
I'd love that.
So I'm gonna be at an open house this weekend for one of the local venues. So we're gonna be like in a space with all the vendors. So
Perfect.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep making those connections. But yeah, like kind of getting the vendors together more because we have a lot of vendors and we don't talk a lot. And I feel
Yeah.
like in a small town, connections are so huge.
Yes, you're like living proof of
So
that. And what I love about you is that you don't let what could be intimidating to you like hold you back. Like you definitely could use your age as an excuse. Like, okay, well, I don't want to be the one to initiate anything because I'm young, or like I don't want to be the one to sign the lease. Like, what if I just work with somebody else? Like,
mhm,
you've never used that as an excuse. I mean, I'm sure it was scary. I'm not saying it wasn't like that
mhm,
you're fearless, but like you still did the things. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
So I love that because Danielle also came to Charleston. So we talked about this at the retreat of how, when you see a need in your community, and she was saying specifically how there's kind of a maybe like a lack of like dreaming or like kind of thinking big, or like just sometimes when you just get in a room with like-minded people like wedding pros, it's exciting, and then you share ideas and like, oh, and then eventually when like that wall is broken down, you can like share pricing and how can we kind of change the landscape here of our wedding scene or whatever. So it's like
Mhm.
when you see that need and you're just stepping into it, that's really admirable. So I'm excited for what's going to happen for
Yeah.
you, like even just this weekend, like who you're going to meet this weekend.
Me
And like,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a very exciting time for our
Yeah.
area because there's like multiple new wedding venues like
Hmm.
opening
Oh, cool.
in our town. And
Yeah.
that's new. That's really cool. So
Yeah. You're
yeah, I'm
becoming
seeing all
more of like
these
a
people.
destination instead of like people getting their stuff done in the small town and like going elsewhere for the big stuff, like the big caterers or the venues or the to buy the dress or whatever. So cool.
Hmm.
You don't need to get into specifics of numbers, but what
Hmm.
has your financial growth been like? How have you seen changes in your revenue, even just from moving into bridal, or yeah, being in SBS, or like joining a community where women are like encouraging you? Like, how have you seen the money growth the past couple of years, or that
Yeah,
confidence maybe even?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm pretty lucky to say even like my first year, I remember like totaling everything up and my parents being like, that's so good for your age. Like,
Yes,
oh
yes.
my gosh.
I
So
remember
it's
my
been,
first few years when I was still teaching, and I had this like teeny tiny, like it was a little journal, and it's magenta and it has like a bee on it. Still have it. And I would keep track every month because I would do the same thing. I would just literally take anything, like whatever alterations or projects, or I would like make a custom quilt, or like, you want this tablecloth? I'll make it for you. I remember one time being at a show and I did a market like you were talking about, where I just sold cute like sewn things because I'm like, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to sew something. And somebody
yeah.
came up to me and was like, I want this tablecloth. And I was like, okay. So I was like, I'll make you this tablecloth, whatever it took, and I would just keep track of everything I made each month. And so looking back at that, I remember looking back at it last year. I'm a little nostalgic with that kind of stuff and reading like old journal entries and seeing like those numbers add up. And I was like crying because I remember in that
Mhm.
moment feeling like, oh my gosh, this is working. And I think I made like $300 that month. You know what I'm saying? It was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
but it was like people are buying stuff, or like people are hiring me for their alterations. Like, and then you just see the number grow. And so like
Hmm.
looking back, even in those first 6 months is so like you were doing the thing. So anyway, got
Yeah.
excited, but continue.
No, you're good. No, I like can relate so much to that feeling because like I just have all these Excel sheets that I'll like total everything up. And like I have that feeling at the end of every year where I'm like crying. I'm like, this is crazy that this is actually
Yes.
happening. And I'm 22. Like, what
Yes.
is
Yeah. You're
happening?
doing the thing.
Um,
Right.
but yeah, I definitely think SBS has like really made me more confident and like seeing that it's just a possibility. Like the
Right.
six figures
Right.
is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And even like this year, I'm like, I might hit it. Like, and that's completely
Yes. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
And just like
That the
definitely gave
confidence
me
is
some
such a
confidence.
huge piece because it's like a mind game with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I think especially
Absolutely.
when
Yep.
we're like self-employed, we're the ones literally setting our prices. Like, yeah, you can compare to like other local people, but it's like you're the one telling your customer this is how much I charge. And you're the one having to like be accountable to yourself. You're the one setting your own hours and you're the one accepting the work, whether you actually want
Hmm.
to do it or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Hmm.
it really comes down to like, do you have the confidence to think that you're worth it, that you're worth like this kind of schedule or this paycheck or whatever, however you're paying yourself, your take home pay or what you're charging. And so kind of being in the room where there's people encouraging you to charge what you're worth or charge what the work is worth. I know that we're not,
Hmm.
our worth is not measured in money, but like our work can be, you know, and we can
Yeah,
really
absolutely. Yeah.
undercharge, especially did you struggle with like setting prices compared to like what your local community like expected, quote unquote, like expected you to charge?
Definitely when I first started because I was so young.
Yeah.
I was like way undercharging, like a
Yeah.
100%. But like recently, I feel like my prices are a little more like comparable to a lot of people in the SBS community, which
Yay.
is
Okay, cool.
awesome. Like I remember, I think it was the first retreat. I was talking to Leslie
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, okay, because I was like, oh, I'm in a small town, so like I can charge a lot less, you know? And she was like, wait, how much are the dresses that you're working on? And I told her like the range, and she was like, ours are the same. We're working on the same price dresses. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
it's okay. And I was like, oh, okay. So that kind of gave me the confidence to
Right.
charge more in line, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like if I'm undercharging, I'm doing disservice to other seamstresses because
Yes. Yeah, it's that
that's kind
balance.
of,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Totally.
So definitely had that trouble at first with my age and everything because I was like,
Yeah.
I need to like build a portfolio before I can up my pricing and which is natural. That's normal.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have done
totally.
that.
Yeah. And to an
But
extent, like that's really good. Like to kind of have that
yeah,
humility and just like, okay, I'm learning. And I think that takes a lot of honesty. So yeah, totally agree.
yeah. But now like almost to like year 4, I definitely feel like I'm a lot more in line with everything. I'm gonna be doing the fitting packages soon, so I'm actually
Yay.
paid for all of my time.
Right, right.
Because that was a huge revelation where I was like, oh, I'm actually not paid for half of my time. It's not.
Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, well, that'll be
So
fun for you to look back on and track like how much the fitting packages brought in too. That'd be really cool.
yeah, for
Did
sure.
that. Like, do you have other podcast hosts that you listen to, or like who are what's your like inspo?
My inspo. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I feel like
Like you
a
can have like
lot of it's
sewing
coming
inspo, you can have
from,
like business inspo,
yeah,
different.
a lot of
Yeah.
it. Okay, a lot of it's coming from SBS, honestly. Like, and like looking at
Oh,
like,
yay.
I'm not even like trying to, and just looking at like individual members because I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
this girl can do it. And then I'm like stalking websites because I'm like, oh my God, look
Yes.
at their website.
Yes.
Like,
Danielle's
that's
in the
what
middle of a website renovation. So, yeah,
yeah. So
taking
I'm like
notes.
stalking all of your websites.
Good.
I would say that's probably the biggest. And then obviously Brenda's YouTube
Oh, yeah.
channel over at Bridal Sewing is like super helpful.
Hmm.
That was probably the number one sewing inspo as
Yeah.
I got started because I was like, oh my gosh, this is not as hard as I thought it was. Like I have the
Yeah, it's
skills, I just
doable.
needed to do them and needed permission to do them,
Right.
you know,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
You have the skills, but like
Um,
what order do you put them in? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I think a lot of like the business inspo definitely comes from like my parents' business because obviously I'm like, they can do it. I can too. Like, and I've already
Yes.
started it. Like my dad also started his business very young. So
Hmm.
I'm like, look at us. Like we can do this.
You can
So
do it. Yeah. That's
yeah.
super cool. What do your friends think? Like, and what do your peers do? Like, where do they work?
My boyfriend just actually got out of college and he's gonna be working at his college.
Oh, cool.
And
And
he's
he's a
he's
musician,
wonderful.
right?
He's a musician, yes, but also is like super multi-talented and does like video and photography and all this stuff. So he's actually
Oh,
like the one doing my website and my new branding and everything. So
yes. Perfect.
that's
Perfect.
super nice built-in,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, built-in marketing.
Nice built in.
Um,
Yes.
yeah. And then like my best friend's a teacher, like right down the road, and this was her first year teaching because just got out of college. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of realizing that everyone, like all of my friends are older than me. Like all
You're
of
an
them are
old
in like the
soul.
class above me. So I'm realizing that all of my age people are like this is their last year in college, which is
Mm,
crazy. Like I'm like
yes.
seeing them on Instagram, like having their final parties and stuff, and I'm like, this is
Yeah.
weird.
Yes. You're like,
So
catch up. I'm already running my $1 million business, so
they're all super like just amazed by me, honestly. And a lot of my friends are from the college that my boyfriend went to. So they're all like music majors and they're
See,
obviously
I
so
knew I liked
supportive.
you. We have that in common. Yes, yes, yes. The
Yeah,
appreciation of the
I
music
noticed that
nerds.
at the retreat there were so many who were like, "Yeah, my husband's a musician." Like I was like, "This is crazy."
Who we attract, yeah.
Right? So yeah, a lot of my friends are, music majors, kind of getting out of college, and it's weird. Like I go to college parties sometimes and I'm like, this is really strange.
I just picture you like the old lady in the corner at the party, like, oh, like
Yeah, it works because my friend who's a teacher, we both like love crocheting in our free time. So we'll literally go to the parties and like bring crochets. Like we'll just like crochet in the corner. And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, teach us." So,
I
yeah,
love that.
they're
You're like a
tame
local
college parties.
legend. That is awesome. Okay, so I think what you should do next locally is you're already doing the 4-H thing, but how can you be a
Mhm.
resource for these like young women who want to start a business and they think they have to, chart their way a specific way, like go to college or do whatever. Like, how can we get you in front of more young people? Because this is awesome. We'll have to figure that out next.
I know, that's a great question because I'm always trying to
Yes.
do something. That's why I was like, okay, make me a project judge for 4-H, like, and I'm
Yes.
like on their fashion board, so I get together with them like once a month and like do like we run the clinic
Oh,
and
those are
like
so
all the
cute.
things.
Hmm.
So yeah, we're getting ready for our clinic this year, so
Oh,
it'll
very
be fun.
exciting.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
The more that you can get, I think, in front of like young women to be just like a business mentor, even if it's not sewing related, I think that's so inspirational because there's a lot of fears involved of like going out on your own and the things that we talked about, like getting your own space and paying rent or like how to actually make money or not having an employer, like being your own, like those are all really big
hmm
things. So the more I think that you can talk about that with others and like share that like, yes, it can be done and kind of reduce the fear, like the paralyzing fear. That's awesome. So, like I said, you need to be the mayor. You need to run for mayor at some point. So, I'll be here for
that's
that. We'll get
entirely too much.
well, wait like 15 years and then we'll talk because I think you'll be ready. All right. Well, where can
Oh my
listeners
gosh.
find you and follow along with your story?
Yeah, so I'm not like crazy active on social media, which I need to get better at, but you can find my
If
business
you're busy with your
Instagram.
business, you're fine. Yeah.
I know, yeah, whatever. But yeah, you can find me on my business Instagram or Facebook at Yours with Every Stitch. My personal Instagram is at Seamstress66.
Lots of bread
That's
making on
where,
there.
yeah, lots of bread making, lots of concerts, lots of music things. So that's all like my personal, like out of sewing life.
Yeah. Hmm. And
Like,
that's probably why you don't post as much on your business Insta because you have a life. So that's
yeah,
great.
yeah. I'm like, okay, why do I need to? I'll like do it here and there, but I'm like
Hmm.
booked up without marketing, which is a
Yeah.
blessing. So I'm like, well, I'll just
Ride
whatever.
this
I'll
wave.
post once in a while when I feel like it.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Okay, we'll be
Yeah,
following along and cheering you on. And on behalf of the Seamstress community, we're just really proud of you. And congratulations on doing the thing and showing us that it can be done and without an age barrier. So we'll be
yeah.
excited to follow along.
Thank you so much, and thank you for like welcoming me into the community.
Oh, duh. Yeah. Okay. Follow along to learn more about Danielle Park and what her next step is. I don't know. We're still figuring that out, it sounds like.